Everyone, my name's Fiona and I am the Promotions and Programs Officer for Wallandilly Library. Welcome to our special Carers of Information event. Many of us these days find ourselves carers for our family or friends. You don't have to do it alone. Deborah Cameron from Wellways joins us today to inform us on how we can access a range of free support services that are available in the local area. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments and Debbie will be happy to answer them at the end of the session. Thanks so much for joining us, Debbie.
Thanks, Fiona. It's great to be here, and we hope we get some great questions and that we are helpful to Wallandilly residents. So I'll take it over to Bo.
I'd like to start off with the acknowledgement of country. So my name is Bo, I'm from the Gamilaroi and Darwell tribe. I'd like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders as Australia's first people and respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands we're on today, the Darwell people. I'd like to particularly acknowledge the difficult times you may be going through with COVID restrictions and hope that you're all keeping as well as can be. I acknowledge all First Nation people who see this webinar, elders past, present and emerging, for the richness of culture and storytelling they bring to our lands and water. Some of you may be familiar with Wellways and some of you may not. Wellways Australia is a leading not-for-profit organisation looking after the new care reforms in the New South Wales Area 2 for the Australian Government. This is all of South West Sydney, so this includes the Wallandilly, Southern Highlands and Camden area, as well as Campbelltown, Liverpool and Bankstown, all the way up to Nepean and Blue Mountain communities. Wellways was originally established in 1978 by a group of carers to improve the services that were provided to carers and has since grown into an Australian-wide organisation. Wellways has a significant number of staff that have or are carers. That way you are provided with support from people that know the joys and challenges of your caring role. Today we will explain the new care reforms and the criteria for carers and the processes to receive services and supports. Debbie will go through all of this with you.
What are the new carer gateway services? The new carer reforms aim to support carers to become more resilient, stronger, and better connected through a variety of services and supports. Imagine if the government was to take on the roles of over 2.6 million carers. It would go broke. You may not even know you are a carer, but these new reforms are open to all carers and provide services like counselling, in-person peer support groups, cleaning, taking a break, getting school uniforms, a whole lot of things. Of course, it's important that you continue your role as a carer and that you receive some report, and that could be even emergency care, one-off supports, access to online forums or access to lots of other resources and referrals that you might need or might like to take advantage of. We aim to support you as a carer, and if you are not a carer, I'm asking that you please spread the word to as many of the Wallandilly Shire residents who are carers that you might say, oh, they're a carer, because a lot of them don't receive any assistance at all. Wallandilly is a great place to live, has wonderful residents, and can support neighbours by being a great voice for us to your community. So how do you know who is a carer? A carer is considered a person who has a significant level of support to a care recipient. They may care for one or more people, but still can only have one plan. However, in a family, there may be, for example, a child who has a disability or a mental health issue, and there's the mum and dad helping, or just mum, or there may be a grandparent helping, and there may be a sibling. All of those people are eligible for a carer plan. So children, young people, adults and older people are all eligible as carers. As long as you are caring for someone for a period of 6 months, you can get a carer's allowance from Centrelink, but you can't be being paid by an organisation for someone to be eligible. Carers provide a great service to friends and family members who may have a disability, may have a mental health illness, someone with a chronic health condition, which is quite broad, have dementia, is about to enter or is in palliative care, and that includes support after a loved one has passed away. As you can see from this cartoon here, it's quite a process, but it's important because we want to make sure that we're getting the carers. So carers can first register their interest by calling the 1800 422 737 number. We chat with you over the phone. Now, if you feel more comfortable, we can meet in an open space to ensure we are all safe from COVID. A carer support worker will call you back and ask some questions about eligibility. We don't want to be giving away services to people who are not carers. Once you're eligible, an appointment can be made with one of our friendly staff who will walk through with you over a 12-month period all of the different supports. What you tell us is private, and we do not share this information with Centrelink, your friends or family, without your approval. The worker will work through what we call a carer start tool by listening to your care as your journey as a carer. And if you can imagine, all the different points of the star stand for things like finance, housework, well-being, health, your caring role, and even work or study. There's lots of different things that it stands for. So we're looking at the carer as a whole person. So we go through that, and as we're talking, we look at some of your strengths and some of the challenges that you may have. After that needs assessment, the carer will choose something that is important to them and select a goal. Now, we want that goal to be achievable, so we're looking at goals that are smart. So they're time limited, they're simple, and they're achievable. The carer support worker will go away from the meeting and start organising the goals you have set out. They will keep in contact with you, and if you forget their name for some reason, you can call 1800 422 737 and ask who your worker is. Plans are reviewed every 3 months and last for 12 months, and the carers give you a check-in call about every 6 weeks or so. Now, as you can see in that slide down the bottom, it says emergency right at the start. So if they sense that you're needing emergency care, they can stop that plan right there and go straight into emergency care work. And so emergency care is really there to support you as the carer, not so much the person you're caring for. So it's considered care that was needed within the next 2 days. It means that planned respite, if you have planned respite, that will come out of your service, but not the emergency Wellways. Wellways does not duplicate service, so if you have NDIS or a My Age care plan, it may be able to come out of that. The person will care for your care recipient in the home, and you can go out to your appointment. So there's 3 areas that we look at: an unplanned situation that prevents the carer from looking after the person that they care for. So that could be because they've got chickenpox, or because they've got a school appointment, or because they have a medical appointment themselves. The second one is an unplanned event that threatens the health and safety of the care recipient. So it could be that the carer is really, really stressed and just can't cope at the moment. And so that means that care recipient's not getting the right health and safety type of care that is needed. The other one is an unplanned event that threatens the health and safety of the carer. So that could be that there's a change in the person that they're caring for, and perhaps they're going through a more difficult time, and it's something where the carer feels extremely high levels of strain and anxiety. So any of those sort of things, we can look at emergency respite in your home. And we have a number of different organisations that we have on our books where we can get qualified and great carers who are all police checked and everything else, have the right training for you. In-person counselling. So this is to support the carer, not the care recipient again. You can choose to be in a small counselling group or have one-off sessions. It's free and does not come out of the services package. It does need to be connected to your plan. It's a free service for carers who are experiencing anxiety, stress, depression, and low mood as a result of their caring role. So it's not marriage counselling or counselling about your work, but more related to your role as the carer. In-person peer support is a carer group, and some of you may have been involved in carer groups before, so we call it IPPS, and it's a safe space to share experiences, learn from one another, and explore different aspects of a carer's journey. The person running the group is actually a peer support educator, and the in-person peer support group is facilitated by someone who's actually already been a carer or who still is a carer. So that way you can learn from each other and explore different aspects of the carer journey. The person running the group is a peer support educator. And what they'll do is drive group discussion and learning using themes around connection, hope, identity, meaning, and empowerment each week. These forums are an opportunity to make connections, feel supported, inspire others who are just starting their journey. All of our staff who run these groups, as I said, are carers and really understand the journey of carers and their experience. But now I'd like to move over to Carla, who has a very specialised role.
Thank you, Deb, and thank you, Fiona, for having me here today. My name is Carla, and I'm the New South Wales State Manager for Little Dreamers. Little Dreamers is a leading young carer support organisation, and we have supported thousands of young carers over the last 11 years. So what is a young carer? A young carer is a young person aged anywhere between 5 to 25 years old who provides care for a family member with a disability, a mental illness, an addiction, a chronic condition, or caring for someone who is aged or frail. So as an example, a young carer might be someone who supports a sibling with autism, or it could be a young person who provides care for a parent with a chronic illness. I'm not sure if we've got the statistics, but on that slide, Deb, but it's estimated that 1 in 10 young people are young carers, with an average of 2 to 3 young carers in every classroom. So it's very common for a young person to have a caring role, but quite often they're not identified as such and unfortunately don't receive the support that they really need. And that's why Little Dreamers exists, to make sure that every young carer is supported. So under the Carer Gateway, Little Dreamers has partnered with Wellways to deliver programs specifically to young carers living in southwest Sydney and the Nepean Blue Mountains area. So I'll just briefly take you through these 3 programs. The first is the in-person peer support program. So it's similar to what Deborah's mentioned earlier, but Little Dreamers has tailored the program to better suit young carers. Our peer support groups are currently delivered online, and young carers are matched with other young carers of the same age. The program runs for 8 weeks with young carers meeting for 1 hour a week, and it's a fantastic way for young carers to be able to connect and support one another. Under the Carer Gateway, young carers can attend the Little Dreamers school holiday programs. So these are for young carers aged 6 to 14 years old. They're lots of fun. It's a day activity and we go bowling, etc. The third program is called the Big Dreamers Development Program. And this program is for young carers aged 13 to 18 years old. It's an amazing 6-month program. We take young carers on a 3-day retreat. We run monthly workshops with the young carers, with guest speakers, and we also match the young carers with business mentors. So that's the Little Dreamers programs in a nutshell, the ones that you can access under the Carer Gateway. So if you have a young carer in your family, it's important to know that they can be registered with the Carer Gateway and they will have their own Carer Gateway plan. Young carers can access the same supports as other carers, including the free counselling, emergency respite, and the tailored financial support packages. So to register your young carer, you just need to call the Carer Gateway and speak with the Wellways team. Let them know that you have a young carer in your family and they'll guide you through the registration process for them. Just be sure to mention that you want them to do the Little Dreamers programs so that they can be referred through to us. If you have any questions about young carers or the support that Little Dreamers offers, you can always call us or visit our website at littledreamers.org.au. Thanks, Deb.
Thanks, Carla. Sorry about that, Carla. My screen froze. Technology. Fiona, I'm just trying to get that PowerPoint back. My apologies for this, everybody.
You just go to share screen down the bottom. Yep, you found it.
Okay. And that was the statistics for Carla. Sorry, Carla, do you want to mention them?
Sure. Yeah. So as mentioned, 1 in 10 young people are young carers. There are 2 to 3 carers in every classroom. 50% of young carer families live below the poverty line, and only 4% of primary young carers finish high school. So it's really important that young carers and their families are connected to supports to assist them. Thanks, Seb.
Thank you.
Carla, we've just got a question. Do young carers have to be part of the NDIS to actually go on your program?
No. So if they are a young carer with a consistent caring role, they just need to call the Carer Gateway and register through Wellways. They can also register for support on the Little Dreamers website, but an NDIS plan isn't required because the young carer is the person caring for the family member who might be on the NDIS plan.
Great, thank you.
I'll just take that over to James at the moment.
Hi, so we're just going to be looking at Dementia Australia. So Dementia Australia is another one of our consortia partners, and they represent 459,000 Australians living with dementia and almost 1.6 million Australians involved in their care. Dementia Australia provides in-person peer support and counselling. They've got a wide range of resources available to help Australians with dementia and their carers to live a meaningful life. So yeah, there's on the Dementia Australia website and whatnot, there'd be other details on different services they provide, but it's quite a large scale of people that they're providing support to, both with dementia and also carers involved in their support.
And James, before we go on, I'll just mention to the Wollondilly residents, we are soon to provide something out there for Wollondilly.
Yep. So Wellways has just received 12 months of funding to run a new Community Connector program. This is the National Disability Insurance Scheme you might have heard about before, but not know how to access. So one of our most important groups within this program that we're looking at supporting is carers who are getting older and don't have an NDIS plan or current plan that doesn't provide enough support for either the person, for instance, that they're caring for, or it possibly could be for themselves. Our goal is to develop new plans and increase out-of-date NDIS plans, reaching residents from the Wollondilly Shire, as this is an important step in supporting the community and reaching some of the people out there in more of those smaller areas. So as the worker, We'll be running some workshops for carers, people with disabilities in the future, in order to be able to try and provide more support and understanding of the system and how processes are involved, whether it be applying for a review and looking at the different stages, the different information that needs to be provided when providing a review to the NDIS, or it could be that you're quite new to disability services, not sure where to start and how to access and what information is required. So we're looking at being able to provide a bit more insight into that area and also support people who might not even know about it that might require that support. So as a carer of someone with a disability, if you want to check out your NDIS plan eligibility and looking into either accessing or reviewing a current plan, please register with our Carer Gateway program in order to receive support from this carer support program. This program is quite a short-term program that we're running at the moment. And we feel that there's going to be many people that can benefit from this insight across different local government areas. Yes.
And especially Wallumbilla Shire. I know that for a fact. Okay, thanks for that, James. So I just wanted to let you know that we do have an in-person peer support group coming up. It's Thursday, the 24th of September, 10 to 12. This one is an online one. Now, to register that, all you've got to do is ring 1-800-422-737 or visit the Carer Gateway service. So we will be doing that and running that program with you. So I've just got my name there and James's name there for you to take reference to, but the really important phone number is that 1-800-422-737. So that's the end of our presentation today. And I'd like to invite some questions from you.
I've got one question from Eric Giannides, and he wants to know, why do I have to register as a carer when I'm seeking NDS?
So pretty much the reason why you're registering as a carer is because what we're aiming to do is try to get more support for the carers. So that may be that carers are getting older and their child is now quite a grown adult and they don't have the strength for lifting or doing all the things they used to do. It may be that the carer has, developed some sort of an illness themselves and it's not quite as easy as before. So we're trying to contact those carers. And I'm aware that there are many carers in Wallumbilla that don't have any supports as well. So what that means is that we will aim to either get a new plan for you or increase the level of the plan if you have one.
Okay, thank you. Just have a look. There's a few more questions. Can you keep going with carer groups?
Well, it's an interesting question there, Fiona. So with the carer groups, what we can do is if you're interested in a second carer group, you just need to review your carer star and look at your plan. And there's two ways you can do it. You can either join another in-person peer support, and I'll let Carla answer that in a minute as well, or you can actually choose to run a group yourself. And we've already got a few people that are doing that because they feel skilled to do that, but we will train you up. We'll provide a place close to your home, or it can be an online carer group, and we'll give you all of the skills that you need, all of the knowledge that you need, and when you need, extra support, we'll be there for you. So you can do it either way. Carla, what about Little Dreamers?
Okay, so at Little Dreamers, the in-person peer support goes for 8 weeks. There is the option for the 18 to 25-year-old group to also continue meeting on a regular basis, and Little Dreamers will help facilitate that process. But after the 8 weeks, it will be self-led by the young carers. As for the young carers, we encourage them to be involved in all of our programs so that they can continue that social connection and meeting with other young carers.
Thanks, Carla.
Okay. What type of counselling is provided?
So I guess the counselling is more related to the carer in their caring role. So as I was saying, it's not about, you know, their work situation or their marital situation. It's more about their caring role. So it's supporting with their mental health or any other areas to further assist them with their caring role. And that includes young people. So sometimes, you know, in a family, there may be a sibling that's getting a lot of attention because they have a chronic health condition and the other sibling's not getting a lot of time. And so sometimes they need to go through counselling to come to terms with that different role that they have that other young people don't have. Would you say that is right, Carla?
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree. I mean, there's many reasons why someone might benefit from counselling, but certainly with young carers, there is that difference in attention where maybe their sibling with special needs might require additional attention, and therefore the young carer might feel a little bit left out. And that's why it's really important that young carers can participate in these programs so that they're also recognised and supported in the way that they need.
Okay. Are there individual or group sessions?
For counselling, so you can have group sessions or you can have an individual sessions. So the sessions go for 6 weeks, but if it was a really, I guess, more complex sort of situation, we could take that a bit longer. So pretty much, yeah, some people prefer that group counselling situations and others prefer, yeah, individual. So, but we have a number of counsellors here that get clinical, they're very professional, they get external clinical supervision, and then we also with Dementia Australia have specialist counsellors there, especially to deal with, you know, pending palliative care and, you know, someone passing away. I think it's really important that people plan for things like that, and they're the absolute specialists in that area.
Great. You might want to unshare your screen so we can see your face too.
Yep.
Does a community connector replace an LAC or a support coordinator?
No. So we would work alongside the LAC and the support coordinator. So we would be providing similar support. The LACs can provide support with accessing the NDIS, with their review process and helping them apply for a new review. But our program is designed more so to target those people who are not so sure about the NDIS, trying to get those hard to reach communities where people might not be aware of the different services they can access. And we're wanting to be able to provide more insight and upskilling and more confidence for carers to be able to assist those who have an NDIS plan, or even to look at taking those stages maybe themselves if they need an NDIS plan. So we will work alongside, and there might be that we might connect with an LAC at some point in the relationship to be able to assist them to go through that formal process in applying for the NDIS.
Oh, that would be really helpful. Just a few more questions. Is there a waiting period to get help?
At the moment, there's not really a waiting period. You should get a call within a couple of days. Of course, if we had, you know, 50 people all of a sudden want NDIS support, we are training up all of the carer support workers at the moment. So there may be a small waiting period at that time, but we would let you know that.
Okay. Well, that was all the questions. Please post any other questions that you've got. We'll wait a few minutes and see if we get anything there.
Fiona, I might share some extra information. You can see Bo sitting
great.
there next to James, and some of your residents will get to meet Bo soon because she's our Aboriginal and youth specialist. And she's going out there to try to engage with lots of young carers to get them onto our books so they can be, you know, passed on to little dreamers, and then also so that she can actually meet lots of Aboriginal people. And she will be going out on the Dilly bus, so we're just in the process of starting to arrange that. It's been a difficult time with COVID-19, so of course, you know, we've had to look at the safety for all the carers and our staff as well, but we're very aware that the Aboriginal population are at more risk, you know,
Yes.
if they get COVID, so we've been particularly cautious.
Yeah, the Wallandilly bus it's great. It goes out there and goes to the communities that even the library can't get to. We have a story time sessions that we go out as well. So it's really good that you can get on the bus.
Yeah.
So I think that's all the questions we've got today. And if there's nothing else, I'd like to thank you very much. It's been very informational, and I hope all the people out there can get some help and they see something useful that they can seek at Gateways. All the information will be on our YouTube station with the video if you want to watch later, and the addresses I will post later as well. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you sometime around soon, I think.
Thank you so much, Fiona, and thank you to all of our team there. But we really encourage you as Wallandilly residents to share this information. We know you're a pretty tight-knit community. I've heard a lot about that from Fiona and Vicky and different people at council. So we really appreciate this time and hope it's been useful for you. So thank you.